Hi everyone, my name's Chelsea, aka Sunspren. Welcome back to my channel. Um, Tonight I had intended to watch The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power final trailer with you for the first time and share my reaction. But I cheated. I've already seen it. And there's nothing new here. There's a lot of new visuals and a very intriguing Billie Eilish Enya combo for a soundtrack. And it looks like it'll be a very exciting and intriguing fan fiction, total fan fiction, with some Tolkien characters thrown in. But instead of bothering, because I would just be beating a dead animal at this point, I want to talk about why this hurts. Why specifically Tolkien fans are hurt by this. There's a lot of anger, and anger can get misattributed easily. And people see anger and they immediately think, oh, those are just bigots. No. If you've read The Lord of the Rings, you understand that there are themes that are universal there, that we take away and that we carry with us forever in some cases. Leaving The Lord of the Rings alone, even, the Silmarillion and the Second Age, especially the First Age, but to an extent the Second Age as well, they're full of characters who are larger than life. All right. You can think of the First Age as being a true, like, pantheon style mythology, right? You're following gods first, demigods after that, of a sense, and then the elves, right? By the Second Age, we're introducing men as the concept as well, but these are the first men. They are not your run-of-the-mill ordinary types. They are at times petty and greedy and ambitious, especially ambitious. And of course, the elves have been in Middle Earth for some time by the Second Age, so they're not as close to the light of the two trees as they once were. But these are still very high fantasy concepts in the Silmarillion. Tolkien's not getting incredibly dirty. There's not a whole lot of there's some shades of gray, but for the most part it's black and white. You know, it's a story of good and evil, and told more of in the way of a, I don't know if I want to say Shakespeare, that's not quite right either. It's like a history, okay, a mythology. It doesn't need to be brought low. It shouldn't be brought low, contorted, and changed, because when you do that, you're just playing games with something that was never intended for that audience. Like, this is clearly an action-packed warrior Galadriel clash a minute, in your face, very blatant telling of these stories that were never intended to be so common. And it would be like taking the Bible, and maybe this is gonna offend a lot of people, I don't know, but it would be like taking the Bible and setting it in like the 1980s, right? and adding some, giving Jesus a sword and maybe some, uh, some slick moves. It it loses something, right? That's at some point you have to point at it and go, that's not the same story. That's it's just candy for people. I don't I don't think it's for me. I might watch a couple of episodes to see how they depict the first age. I would like to see maybe some flashbacks to the Valar and the days of Feanor and all that, but this just doesn't feel right. I mean, we've already butchered. We've in the first. I'll save you some time. In the first 30 seconds of this trailer, the history of Middle Earth has already changed. Galadriel says that her brother was hunting Sauron. He was hunting the enemy, and when he died, no, he wasn't. He was in uh, Morgoth's dungeon, and he died with Beren there. Beren was there. Uh, we'll never even see Beren and Luthien depicted correctly here in Turin, any of that. It's a shame. It's a crying shame. Peter Jackson made a series where that balanced, in my opinion, it balanced the action sequences, the big battles, that kind of thing, with personal character moments and respect to the intentions, the themes of Tolkien. Themes that are, more or less universal and ancient, old values like friendship, responsibility, sacrifice, a quest, a noble quest, bonds of various kinds, the falls of the fall of a people, the fall of a person, due to greed or ambition, pride. We're talking about lofty and traditional stories that are the fabric of, you know, really of many different kinds of literature, but of many mythologies, right? This doesn't feel like that. From the very beginning, from every trailer we've seen, it's sharply detailed set. It's just action piece. Hobbits talking about how hobbity they are, when we don't need to be told that. We should be seeing their actions, not listening to them to say, oh, we trust to each other. The dwarves have their minds and the elves have their forests, but we have each other. And it's just so, there's no finesse to that. It's just like slapping a scarlet letter on something. I don't know. I just don't think this feels like a legend. Legend has it. This is what happened. You know, this feels more like daytime the history you never wanted to know, the gritty, the details. Yeah, there's plenty of details, but not the ones that people actually care about or want to know, just all the other stuff, right? Anyway, I just wanted to try to get that across. Numenor was a story, the rise and fall of Numenor is a story about men and women, yes, too, men and women, their problems, the fundamental problems of human creation, of hubris. And it's a simple story. It's not complicated. That's a very simple story. And it doesn't have to be told in a convoluted way to get it across. In fact, it shouldn't be. It's very straightforward. Sauron in the beginning was a deceiver. He was beautiful. He appeared to the elves as Anatar, and he was the giver, of gifts. Because who doesn't like gifts? Who doesn't like wisdom? Who doesn't like to know more? And knowledge as a temptation for the elves and for men. And that's something that's generally laid at the feet of only humans. In that case was also, you could also lay it at Celebrimbor's door, among others, who were taken in by the gifts, by the sweet talk, by the flattery, by the, by the beauty of someone who turned out to be deceiving them. I just think that those kinds of stories are, the beauty is in their simplicity. It's not in this convoluted attempt to make it shinier, spiffier, more actiony, more. That's not right. And it's not Tolkien at all. These civilizations of his usually meet a bad end in many cases for different reasons. Of these mega cities, there is a reason why his country folk were, I'm not going to say better, but purer of heart in some cases. And it saddens me. It saddens me that this isn't going to live up to any of that, to any of those expectations. Another theme of Tolkien is faith. Faith, and not just the word faith, right? Because faith is thrown in there in this trailer, like they know what that, like they know what that means. Like Hollywood intends to do anything with faith. But the Valar, the teachings, the wisdom of their faith. And what happened when they turned their back on it in Numenor? Are they going to tell that story? Are they going to tell the story? Because it doesn't look like it. Of the kings of Numenor who want to live forever so badly that they'll do anything. Anything. Does that ring a bell to anyone? I just don't, I don't know. It looks like they're just making this very, very silly and feminist, and just so disappointed because Tolkien understood people and hearts, and more importantly, not how to make money, how to inspire people, how to tell a cautionary story, fables, myths. They exist for a reason, and he believed that. It wasn't just lip service, right? It wasn't just, oh, we're making this for today's reasons. No, he was trying to make something bigger than himself, and he found the themes and used the themes that would do that, that would speak to human experience, not modern day, his modern day experience only, but a historical perspective on myth. I don't know. It's a shame. And that's all I got to say about that. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I'll try to get over it.